That was weird. I don't know why my computer did that.
Where's everybody at?
This might be it.
No, I have some people jumping on, Charlie, so maybe we'll give them a couple minutes.
Who is Cool Kid?
I'm not sure. They've got themselves muted. That I don't know.
Let me message Harriet and see.
Alana?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hey, is that you, Jen?
It's Jen, yeah.
Oh, cool. We can't see your picture, Jen.
I love technology.
So,
Still not doing well, so we look horrible.
there should be like a little camera on maybe the bottom left-hand side. If you click that, it might just happen to work.
Hello, Lindsay. Hi, Brittany.
Right.
She's always got a pen in her hand.
I'm taking notes.
I guess it helps if I turn my volume up. I was like, why can't I hear anything?
That does help. We've got Jan and Brian. Brittany, do you have somebody jumping on?
I don't think so, but I don't think they'll be making it.
You just never know, right? There's a Kate.
Anybody know Kate?
Pardon?
Who's Kate?
Kate is Instagram.
I love it when that happens.
I know I used to do this when I was on calls. Brittany, did you say Kate is your friend?
Yes,
Okay, perfect.
from Instagram. So I haven't met her face to face, but actually she's from Nashville. And
No way.
yeah, kind of met up, well, not met up, but chatted on Instagram while I was in Nashville. I'm like, really? You're from Nashville? I wonder if I'll see you, but didn't happen. So maybe next year.
For sure.
But when I was coming back on, it said that it was a 40-minute call, so I'm going to give it another minute. We're going to get started.
Okay.
I hate getting cut off in the middle.
Oh yeah, because you only have so long, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Lindsay, did you talk to your husband about Summit yet?
Actually, no. He just got home recently. And then now I'm on here. Corbin's literally just going to bed right now. It's actually, we're off schedule today completely.
Okay, we are going to get started. Hello, and thank you for showing up.
Hello.
Ryan, it's nice to finally meet you in person, other than when you were running the other day and I accidentally called you on Facebook.
Well,
I'm always doing that on accident.
them damn things are very sensitive, you know.
I know this is kind of a weird thing to do. You know, like, what the hell is this? People don't normally get on, Zoom calls and talk about opportunity. I know that's kind of weird. I used to think the same thing. But, I completely understand it. But I appreciate you taking the time to jump on here with us and learn about what we do. I don't want to assume that everyone knows who I am, so I'll introduce myself. My name is Charlie. I'm from Dallas, Texas, actually Garland, Texas, just outside of Dallas. I have two troublemaker kids. One's hiding in the background up here. I'm a diamond coach, and I've been coaching for about 4 years. She's hiding. Show of hands. Who has ever heard of P90X? Raise your hand if you've heard of P90X. Just about everyone has heard of P90X. That's one of the great things about our products. They have brand name recognition. Everybody knows what they are. So that's pretty much, well, before I get started, let me put on my lawyer hat because we have to go over a disclaimer they make us do. Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income from the coaching opportunity. Each coach's income is based on his or her own diligence and skill. Okay, that's done. We don't have to talk about that no more. The reason I bring up P90X, back in 2002, I think it was, Beachbody started creating workout programs. They had like Power 90 before that. But in 2002, they created P90X. And it was getting awesome results. It was flying off the shelf. People were in love with it. Beachbody was making a ton of money. Coaches did not exist at this time. But they started noticing that too many people weren't finishing the programs. So they got this idea that they would get the people who did finish them to go on these message boards that Beachbody has, like a chat line on their website, to help support people who were in the middle of their program. And it turns out it works, because that's what people require, is a little bit of accountability, some support. And once they started doing that, people started finishing their programs. They weren't getting paid to do it. They were just doing it as like a recognition kind of thing. They were, look at me, I'm a coach. And I remember that because that's about the time that I started doing P90X. I think it was 2010, and I was jumping on those message boards, and I was the one asking questions because I was struggling. I remember they had a coach, and I was like, man, that must be pretty cool. They're a coach. Hold on, my computer's doing something. But that's pretty much how the coaching thing started. And it's now evolved into what we have now, which is like a $10 million business. And my dog's barking. We're somewhere along the lines of, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, like 400,000 coaches between the United States and Canada. And we're barely scratching the surface with this deal, because it won't be long. We're going to be going international. And those of you that are in our Beachbody On Demand group, that's what that whole thing's about. They're using Beachbody On Demand. That thing is global right now. They're using that as a test, like a test market, to see where the coaching opportunity would work best. The whole idea behind Carl Dackler's vision of on demand, like, it's like a big infomercial, so to speak. But anyway, that's how the whole coaching thing started. I'm going to turn it over to my Canadian friend, Alana, to talk about what she wants to talk about.
Sure. Hey, I'm Alana, and I've been a coach since last year. I'm a diamond coach as well. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about pyramid schemes, okay? When I first started, my husband, I swear, for about 2-3 months kept saying, it's a pyramid scheme, it's a pyramid scheme. It's not a pyramid scheme, and that's what we want to kind of debunk, right? We want to get rid of that. A pyramid scheme is something where people are selling something that, or they're saying they're selling something that doesn't have a product, and or it is a product that's crap. Beachbody has been around for way longer than our coaching opportunity has been, right? So programs like P90X, Insanity, all those came out, I think Insanity, before the coaching opportunity came out. And so it's not a pyramid scheme, and I don't know why people think that about so many different MLMs, because yeah, it's just not. So I don't know if I did okay with that, Charlie, but I touched on it a little bit anyways.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, and next, I just want to talk to you about my the reason why I became a Beachbody coach and how I got to where I am. I actually started back in 2008. In 2008, I was up in the hospital. I was in preterm labor, and I was watching an infomercial for TurboJam, and I ordered it on the spot. And as soon as my baby was about a month old, I started that program, and it took off. Like, I didn't have much weight left. I had about another 13 pounds to go because of that. I didn't have a very big baby, but yeah, by that time. But anyways, that's where I started off. And so when I was approached last year to do a challenge group, it was a free one, like many of you guys, have done. It was a free one. And I was just so pleased because I was in a new community. I'd been there for, about 4 years, but I really didn't know anybody. I didn't feel part of. And this lady asked me to go in this challenge group, and I was all over it. Mostly because I was really, I felt alone. I had moved to a farm. I was very lonely. Before that, I had owned a gymnastic club. I had 300 families coming in every week. I was like this major social butterfly. I was on top of the world. I was an entrepreneur. And all of a sudden, here I am on the farm, and I had just, totally lost myself, right? So anyways, Beachbody enters my world. I did like 3 challenge groups. And then I remember my first 21-day one, and I messaged my coach, and I said, at the end of this challenge group, I think I'm going to become a coach. And she said, oh, like she was totally shocked, right? She didn't have any coaches on her team yet. And like 2 days later, I just went into the site and I signed up myself. And I was just, I was all over everything, emails. I was, right into it, everything that you're supposed to do. And it is just, yeah, it has brought such an, it has brought people back into my world. You see a few of the coaches that are here on the call with us tonight, and they, I've made such good friendships, and the people there in the challenge groups, it's just brought such, just so much stuff into my heart, and my heart is so full because of it. And I get to help people every day. I get to inspire, I get to encourage. And when people are down, you get to lift them back up, right? And that's huge.
I'm gonna start crying. I'm gonna start crying, and then Brittany will start crying, and Lindsay's, there's another guy on here, and I can't cry from another dude.
No,
Yeah, it's just it's been a great ride. That's all I can say. So, but I'm gonna pass it back to you on that note, Charlie.
Okay, I will I'm not gonna bore you too much with my story. I'll make it pretty quick. 2010, I was 45 pounds overweight. My back hurt. I was 39 years old. I lived on a steady diet of McDonald's. I felt lethargic. When I was younger, I was always thin. I never had a problem with weight. But as the years went on at work, I got promoted where I was behind the desk holding a clipboard, and all that stuff just kind of caught up with me. And all the years of working in the field and, playing sports, all my joints were hurting, and I just felt like crap, and all that extra weight just made things worse. So I'd kind of given up pretty much. I thought I'm just old. That's the way it's supposed to be. And I was sitting on my couch or in my lawn chair or recliner one night. It was like a Friday or Saturday night, drinking a beer, eating a bag of Doritos or something. It's like 2 a.m, and I saw an infomercial for P90X. And I was like, man, there's no way I can do that. That's pretty hard. And I didn't order it. I thought, nah, can't do that. A couple weeks later, I seen it again, and then I seen it again. And I was like, you know what? I got to try something. one time I got to do something. I never worked out as a kid. I had asthma, so I played football 1 year and I got destroyed like in 7th grade. So I never had worked out before. I never picked up a weight. So I ordered P90X, and the day it showed up, I'm over here. I've got a little attic room. It's called a Texas basement. It's just like an unfinished room. And I was building a pull-up bar in there, going to hang it from the rafters. And I'd be damned if I didn't tear like my rotator cuff because I was at a weird angle trying to nail a board up there. So my very first day, I couldn't even do a push-up. I had to do them on my knees. But I was determined to at least get through it once, even though I knew I would fail. I didn't think it would work. Long story short, 90 days later, I'd lost 25 pounds. I was pretty proud of myself, pretty sucked out. Cool, I can do it. But about the time I finished was end of October, so I had Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. And by the time that was done, I'd gained it all back. Because I hadn't yet really changed my nutrition. I was eating the same junk, I was just working out. And I still lost 25 pounds. So after New Year's, I decided I'm going to do it again. I'm going to follow the meal plan. We'll start drinking Shakeology. And I did it again, and I lost like 30 pounds. And I never looked back. I went from that to like Les Mills Pump, and then Combat, P90X3, T25, Body Beast. I just never stopped. And it saved my life. That's why I've got a P90X tattoo on the back of my leg. I swear to God, I am a totally different person. I'm more fit now at 45 than I was at 25. And that's no lie. That's serious. And if I can do it, anybody can do that. Like I said, never worked out before, so. So that's going to be, sorry, go ahead. You say something? No?
No, I was commenting that it's a pretty amazing story.
Thank you. I'm pretty proud of it, to be honest. And then last year at Summit, I got to actually meet Tony Horton. It was like Brad Pitt to me. You know, I was all shaking. He got to see my tattoo. He punched me in the shoulder. It was pretty cool. So that brings me to what types of people actually become coaches. There is not a one definition of what a coach is supposed to look like. You do not have to have a six-pack to be a coach. You do not have to be in shape to be a coach. All you have to do is be on your journey to make yourself better, because that's going to inspire others. There's 3 different kinds of coaches. One is a discount coach, which means someone who just signed up for the discount because they like the programs and they like the products. The second kind is a hobby coach, which means they also signed up for the discount, but on occasion they sell it to their family and friends. And the third kind of coach, and I've been all of these, every single one of them. The third coach is an all-in coach. That's someone who is pretty much all in. They have a desire to have this business replace their full-time income, and it's totally possible to do that. So if I was going to say, it's someone who treats a business like a business and sacrifices the things they want now for the things they need later. Mm-hmm. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to my favorite girl, Brittany, and let her tell her story. Hold on, I got to unmute you, girl. Oh, that's the wrong button. Katie says you're her favorite too. Unmute. Okay.
Hey, can you hear me?
You.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Charlie. Okay, so I guess I'll talk a little bit about how I started with Beachbody. Before I started, I was basically sick my whole life, dealing with colds, flu. My dad's paychecks always went to medications for me. So being sick is all I knew. It wasn't until my early 20s when I was going to university, I was really stressed out from school and my studies. And I was constantly sick at this point. And my dad said, hey, why don't you join me in the workout? I just bought this program and I think you'd really like it. And I said, well, I'm not really into fitness, don't go to the gym, but it has something to do with my dad and I only see him on the weekends. So sure, why not? We did it, and I think we paused it 5 times throughout the 1 hour period. We were both pretty gassed, but me especially. But we got through it, and he high-fived me and said, "You know what? That was awesome. You pushed through." And it was that moment that I realized I could do something about it, even if I had to pause it a bunch of times. So after finishing that, I said, I'd really like to do this program. So my dad bought it for me for my birthday. That's not when I completed my very first program, because I still dealt a lot with my sickness. So I stopped and started probably 10 times over a couple of years. And basically, it wasn't until 2013 when I saw an infomercial for TurboFire. And I was like, oh yeah, I recognize Beachbody. I really want to buy this program because it looks like it'll help me lose the weight that I gained in university. I gained about 25 pounds. So I ordered it. I didn't know that a coach came with it. So that was kind of a surprise when I got an email from Charlie saying, hey, I'm your free coach. I'm on Facebook. I said, oh, okay, sure. Sounds good. And he started talking about Shakeology and how it helped him not only lose weight, but helped him feel good. And because health was such an issue for me, that it would really benefit me. So I hemmed and hawed. I said no a bunch of times because I said, you know what, I can't afford it. I don't really know if I believe in Shake. But I think after maybe the 3rd time he brought it up to me, I said, you know what? I've been watching him and he seems to be doing really well with his fitness. I'm going to give it a try. Sure, why not? I'll go for this coach discount thing because who doesn't want to save some money? So that's what I did. And I told him, you know what, I'm probably going to cancel because, what if I really can't afford it? He says, you know what, if you can't afford it, cancel it anytime, no problem. And I'll tell you, I've never canceled. I've delayed a couple of times because I fell off track and it just built up over time, but I've never canceled because it changed my health. It helped me to curb a lot of chocolate cravings that I was addicted to, literally addicted. 3 Kit Kat bars in a day, each meal. And I'm no longer sick anymore. I actually built up my health to the point where I can get through a workout. I can get through a whole program right through without starting and stopping. And it just has changed my health and fitness big time. While this was happening, Charlie also asked me, have you thought about this coaching thing, like what I do? And I thought, no way, I can't do that. First of all, I can't even get my own health on track consistently. So how would I be able to help somebody else? And I told that to him, and he said, it's the journey that inspires people. You are like anybody else out there. People are going to relate to you. Just, why don't you do it? And I said, no, not right now. And he asked me a couple months later and said, you know what? I really think you'd be an amazing coach. And that kind of stopped me in my tracks because no one has ever told me that I would be good at something health and fitness related, because I was just always told by my teachers, Brittany cannot run. Brittany is not good at physical fitness. Brittany can't do this. And for someone for the first time in my life to say, I think you'd be really good at it, I was like, wow, I never thought I could be really good at that.
Oh, look at you now.
Yes, that's honestly the turning point for me, was saying, you know what, I can do this. So I told him I watched a video about what coaching was, and that feeling you get when you get tingles down your spine, as if, like if this is a moment that's going to change your life forever.
Mm-hmm.
Watching that video, I got those tingles, seeing people just like me, Charlie, Alana, Lindsay, people who just want to take charge of their fitness. We can actually make this a living by helping other people. I thought, you know what, why not me? So that's what made me decide to go all in.
Thank you, Brittany.
Yeah.
Okay, we only got like 5 minutes left, so I'm going to turn it back over to Alana.
Okay.
Oh, I have it. I didn't mean that. Mute her.
Sorry about that. So I just want to quickly touch on challenge groups. The majority of you have been in challenge groups. If you haven't, it's something that we run as coaches to encourage our people to get them started in fitness, whether it's starting with a free group or starting with a program that they might have purchased. We are in the business not of selling, we are in the business of getting people healthy, okay? When Charlie had talked about discount coaches, hobby coaches, and full-time coaches, those all vary on different times, okay? And with challenge groups, because we run them as teams, it isn't going to take a lot of time out of your schedule because we run them as teams and we all take turns, and it doesn't take a whole lot out of a person's schedule, and you get to choose how many hours you want to work this business because it is your business and nobody else's. So I'm going to pass it back to Charlie.
I wish we had more time because I can talk about this stuff all night. But what it comes down to, guys, is this can change your life. And it's more than financial. I mean, you can earn enough to pay for a tank of gas or pay for your mortgage or earn 6 figures a year. It's really up to you. No one decides how much money you make other than you. That's one thing I like about it because my job, you know, I don't decide how much I make. I don't decide when I go to work. I don't decide whether or not I can take 3 weeks vacation. I don't decide if I'm going to take my kid to the doctor. That's somebody else's decision. With this business, it's all my decision. But besides just the financial impact of what this can do, it changes your entire world. Because I don't know how to explain it, but we often read personal development to help to grow our minds so we can help other people, and it has totally changed me. I used to be I could say an asshole. I was always moody. I was unlucky, and the truth is I was unlucky because I'm the one that created that bad luck, okay? If you are negative all the time, you're going to have a negative life. If you surround yourself with positive people, things start to change, and it's incredible. And just helping other people, it's like the best goddamn thing there is in the world. Neither time nor money can possibly count for the feeling that you get for helping other people, and that is a fact. I'm going to start crying. You girls start crying. It's just, that's the best. After 4 years, that is still my favorite thing. And when someone messages me and says, because of you, I didn't quit, man, you just can't beat that. You cannot beat it. So I hope that after hearing all this information that you have more questions. I'm sure you do. We barely even scratched the surface with all the information. I got a ton of notes here that we didn't get to talk about, but if you have questions, if you're still interested, message the person who invited you to this call, and I'm sure the conversation will go from there. So with that, we got 2 minutes. If anyone has any questions right now, I'll be happy to answer them, or I'll try to answer them. If not, you know, we can just shoot the shit. I mean, if you got I was drinking wine, but it's already gone, so I'll just stay with water. Hold on, I'll unmute everybody just in case somebody has any questions. Unmute. Mute. Unmute. Who's laughing?
Lindsay?
Somebody vacuuming here or something? Like a vacuum cleaner going off. Hey, Ron, where do you live?
I live in Kaufman.
Still live in Kaufman?
I live in Kaufman.
Dude, I was raised there.
Do what?
I was raised in Kaufman.
No, you wasn't.
Yes, I was too. I lived there until like 7th grade.
Do what now?
I lived there until 7th grade.
When did you graduate high school? What year was it?
89.
So you went to school with Stephen Rogers.
With who?
Stephen Rogers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Chrissy Bonweg, Julie.
Huh? Julie Dugan? Yeah, I know where she lives.
Small world. Small world, ain't it? All right, we're officially cut off here, so I'll message you about that because I bet we know a lot of the same people. So, all
All right, I'll talk to you later.
right, guys, I'm gonna say goodnight before it shuts off.
Thanks,
Everybody.
everybody.
Thanks,
Bye, y'all.
Charlie.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for showing up.